At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce to you today's guest speaker for our ceremony, First Sergeant Jeremy Benton.
Well, good morning, 22001. How are you? I bet you're ready to get home. Yeah, several of my guys and gals last night, she said, I have reached the maximum of my social battery and I need to go recharge. So I imagine a lot of you are that way. I'll be quick. I wanted to just bring you a couple things. From being in recruiting for quite a bit, I think that when you leave here, you may remember one thing, and is that I graduated and what's next, right? So several years ago, there was a recruiter that came through SQI4, and that recruiter got pulled out of class. He was from Alabama. He got pulled out of class from the instructor, and the instructor said, hey guy, I don't know if this is a good fit for you. You may need to reconsider some of your options, okay? That's a blow, right? So the guy, he came home, and within 18 months, the NCOIC sat down with him and said, hey guy, it's not a good fit for you. I think that we need to reevaluate what you're doing with your life. So tell you what, take the next 30 days. I want you to go find a civilian job. And tell you what I'll do is once you get ready to start, I will take your AJR orders and I'll butt them up against when you stop, and I will let you transition out. You go back to an M day and you just kind of go from there with things. There are three things that guy turned around and did. Is the very next month, he turned around, I think it was February. From February to September, he put 36 people in the Guard, right? And after evaluating, what are three things that you should take out of that? Is one is self-growth is career growth, all right? You don't have all the answers. SQI4 gave you a lot of information that you're going to go home and you're going to go, okay, I remember I was told this, but what's the next step from there, okay? I'm going to encourage you when you leave here to stay in the regulation. Try to do 30 minutes a week, all right? You're already going to be overwhelmed when you get home with mission and life. Try to take 30 minutes, all right, where you sit down and you read something out of the regulation, whether it's the NGR 601, whether it's the 609, whether it's on the Army, the regulation for uniforms. Take something and don't read from front to back like a book. Just scroll it and randomly read some random things out of there, okay? Because that stuff will stick with you, okay? I will also encourage you to take $15 and invest in an Audible account, okay? I encourage you to read books like Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss, The Power of Body Language by Tanya Riemann, because those are things that you're going to need in this environment in order to assist and make yourself successful. Isaac Newton said that we stand on the shoulders of giants in order to see the distance, okay? What he was referring to was reading the works of other people, taking ideas that they may have and compounding our own ideas upon those things. I encourage you when you leave here to continue self-growth is career growth, okay? The second thing I want you to remember is failure is an option, all right? Our entire career, we're told, do not fail, okay? What I realized in, I think 2015, is I had the opportunity to go to Ranger School. I went through and got my run, put my sit-ups, got to the push-ups, right? And hit 44, and I couldn't get past 44, right? I came home in a pity party, right? I came home and was like, maybe I just need to go ahead and look at retiring. Maybe I've hit the peak of my career. Maybe I don't have what it takes anymore to be an exceptional soldier. In that pity party, what I realized is I was pointing blame at the guy who graded my push-ups, right? Maybe I should have prepared a little bit more. Maybe I should have been able to do one more push-up, right? When in this environment, you're going to have lots of things you can place blame on. I'm not successful because of COVID. I'm not successful because of politics, right? I'm not successful because my command's not supporting me, okay? 22001, I tell my soldiers that somebody who has something to prove will outperform their peers, okay? You have something to prove. You are the first graduating class in 18 months. For you, you may have came and said, hey, I just come because I wanted an AGR job. You know, or you may have came because, hey, somebody told you, hey, I need ADOS, you're coming, right? But I guarantee you for these instructors and for the people over for this facility not having a class graduating in 18 months and finally getting some warm bodies back in the seat is a huge deal, right? You are showing the difference, all right? You're coming here and you're going to take something home and you're going to show that everything that they have poured their heart and souls into you over these past 5 weeks was worth it, all right? Last thing I want to leave you with, all right, is know your audience, okay? I was a PSN SQI4 for a battalion, and our XO each morning, we were at AT, our XO each morning, he liked to do a video, motivational video, right? He played Ric Flair. To beat the man, you got to be the man, right? Or to be the man, you got to beat the man. So my sergeant major was sitting next to me. I said, hey, sergeant major, in order to be the man, I got to beat the man. And he looked at me and he said, hey, Sergeant First Class, it's an open buffet. Anytime you want some, you get a plate. I took that as an open opportunity, right? So that night they had a dining out. Sergeant Major and XO and BC were all staying in one little chew. We were staying in another. They left. I went over there and Sergeant Major didn't sew his rank on. So I swapped him out and I put E7 rank on there and I got the Sergeant Major rank, right? And every intention of going over there early the next morning, being the first one out, so it was just me and him being like, hey, Sergeant Major, I got you, right? Unfortunately, Sergeant Major got up extremely early and went to a dining out at the Maycom and was walking around with some E7 rank. I would tell you that it turned out to be a very painful experience for me. In this job, there are going to be times to play. There's going to be times to work, okay? Know your audience, know the difference. All right, there's going to be times to work a packet till 2 o'clock in the morning because you're trying to put somebody on the floor. All right, there's going to be times to shut the computer and go home and spend time with your family and your babies, okay? Know your audience and know the difference, okay? When that instructor sat down with me and said, hey man, you are not a good fit for this. You need to reevaluate your life. I knew I had to prove him wrong. When my NCOIC sat down with me and said, hey man, you need to go find a new job. It's not working out for you. I knew I had to prove him wrong. I had to find a way to win. Guys, when you leave today, in everything that's going on, find a way to win. Thank you, guys.
First Sergeant, thanks for the inspiring words.